Oh, this was a shoe post. Yeah. They asked young men and women what the most important thing is in order to have a successful life. This is Gen Z. So, this is NBC News Decision Desk poll. Important to personal definition of success. Men who voted for Trump, having children. Women who voted for Harris, fulfilling job and career. 51%. That's kind of crazy. Where is children? Wait, this is like having children. This is the inverse at 6%? That's insane. Having money to do things you want. It's higher up too. Having emotional stability. Okay, that's valid. Having no debt. This is even actually, look, 21%, 21%. I don't know if you can see it because I'm blocking with my big fat head. Yeah. Having emotional stability, 9% for people who voted Trump. Wow! That's 30% more on the other side. That's crazy. Using talents to help out others, 37%, 20% difference. Able to retire early, 6 to 9%. That's not much of a difference. That's because we're all like on a grind set. Financial independence, fulfilling job and career. These are pretty close, but still, this is a 20% disparagement. Wow. Being married, 20%. Being married, 11%. That's double. This is crazy. Again, I can't help but think to myself, how much propaganda did it take for, like, over the last 50 years, I want to say, to convince women that having children and getting married is, like, bad. But slaving away for corpo borpos is good. Because I'm seeing, like, a trend. Again, it's pretty low for men and women. Or, oh, wait, this is for women and men. Oh, wait, I read this wrong. So this is for men, women who voted for Harris. And this is for men that voted for Harris and women who voted for Trump. Huh. It's still trending the same way, no matter what the gender is. How is it that slaving away for corpo borpos is good, man? Oh, both sides has been brainwashed to think that, like, having money is more important, man. Fulfilling job career, 51% to 30%. Honestly, even if the end result is ass, the fact that we got here is kind of impressive. It means it worked. Yeah. Money rules the world. Well, yeah, I mean, I could argue and say, like, wanting to get married and being financially independent is one and the same, because you don't really want to have kids if you can't provide for them. I think that's, like, the high IQ takeaway is, like, why would I have a child if I would bring them into this world and make them miserable because I can't provide for them fully? So, yeah, so that's probably why it's so high overall for everybody. I think that's pretty normal. But still, being married, even for a woman who voted for Trump, is still double that for a man who voted for Harris in 2020, right? I don't fucking remember. I didn't vote, so I fucking don't actually remember when we voted. 2024. Dude, I didn't vote. I actually forgot when the election was. Oh my god. I just fucking off memory hold myself. Guys, it just happens. It's 2024. Yeah. People who vote generally have bad takes in general. I don't know. I don't really talk to people about who they voted for in public. Like, I don't really have, like, a consensus on that. I can't tell you personally my experience. And I also can't help but think, like, I have to wonder, the age range of the people polled in this study, is this, like, I know Gen Z is a broad term, but I think some people classify Gen Z as anybody who's, like, what, 19 right now? Up to, like, 29 or 30? I don't know what that is. Like, also another thing is, like, women start to hit a wall around 30. They really want to have babies by then. Like, time's running out, your eggs are drying up, like that whole meme thing. It's 19 to 29. Okay, I thought so. A lot of people don't vote. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, baby fever definitely hits when you're, like, what, 30? I wonder if you polled exclusively like women from ages 28 to 34, if you'd see having kids and getting married stat be much higher, because this is a very broad definition. 19 to 29, Gen Z, that probably equalizes a pretty fair amount, would it not? Even if you're not doing that well. Me and my fiance are getting close to that age, man. I'm worried we won't have a house by then. Yes, that is a very common fare with everybody. Again, I try not to get like political or anything. This is just fascinating to me. What people are thinking and what the distribution is. Like what's important to some people. People want to have a home. It's important. And what's sad, what's really, really sad, to be completely honest with you, is it's not a one-to-one that having a fulfilling career and being a girl boss and making money just replaced having kids and being married. It literally obliterated it. If you look at it, it's like, look, being married, even for someone who voted for Trump, which is like conservative, right? It's right wing, 20%. Whereas it's 29% for men. That's still really low. Can people still afford their weddings? I mean, I don't think it's like freaking important. It's 6% versus 29. Women who voted for Harris. Oh, this is women who voted for Harris, and this one is being married for men who voted for Trump. And this one is 20% for women who voted for Trump. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Court weddings? Yeah. And all of this, for what? For having the clandestine freaking privilege of being a wagee for a corpo borpo that doesn't give a single fuck about you, who replaces you on a dime, who constantly threatens to fire you if you don't do well enough, you don't meet quotas. Meet the quota, right? Like, I know a lot of you listening are probably, like, working a job right now, and you have to do this. You have to clock into work. You can't be 5 minutes late. If you're 5 minutes late, oh, your grandma died? Well, that's too bad. Sorry, you're gonna have to still go into work, you know? They don't give you a raise. They will not give you a raise. You will need to hop jobs every 2 years in order to keep up with cost of living. All while getting worked to the bone and bitched at if you need a time off to reset your brain a little bit, and threatened if you have to call in sick. It's disgusting. And most importantly, getting paid just enough to survive and feed yourself and pay rent if you're lucky. If that, you'll probably have to get 2 jobs. But absolutely never enough to secure your future and buy your house or make investments or whatever. The fact that this psyop worked will remain probably one of the most confoundingly impressive things to me until I die. Because genuinely, I think people need to wake the fuck up. I don't know. I just feel bad. Stay at the Amazon warehouse while the tornado hits you or they'll fire you. Yeah, oh my god, that was heart-wrenching. This is a real story. A guy texted his family during a tornado and said, sorry, I can't leave. The tornado's about to hit. And the wife has a kid and she's texting, she's like, are you gonna be okay? And he says, I don't know. Something along those lines. And then he passed away because of a tornado and they locked them in. Nothing ever happened, like, to Amazon, I don't think. Maybe they paid him out, but, like, what's it worth to, like, pay out to, like, lose a loved one? It's crazy to me. Both Harris and the Trump women have marriage and family lower than career. That's exactly what I pointed out, too. Even though it's like, oh, I'm conservative, it's still lower on the priority list than financial independence and fulfilling career. But even crazier is Harris men have family and marriage higher than Harris women. They don't value it at all, which is really sad. What's going on, ladies? Men who voted for Trump, emotional stability, 9%. This is... Okay, hold on. I gotta say my piece. I think that it is extremely beautiful that in a lot of ways that... It's beautiful and terrifying. I gotta rephrase. Women will sacrifice all of their mental health to provide. Genuinely, I've seen this from my brother. I saw it from my dad, even though it's like not the same generation or anything. My brother's a older millennial, but it's really mind-blowing to me because it's like I just have to put my head down and provide for my family. Like, whereas women are kind of like more whiny, which is like, you know, it's just how women are. I'm whiny too. It's like I'm not innocent of that, but like men can just fucking put their fucking nose to the grindstone and just go ham, you know? Yes, men will do anything for their family. Where's Tommy Lauren? I thought the declining birth rate is all young men's fault for being losers or whatever the fuck. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just mind-blowing to me. Again, I'd love to see the actual statistics, like how many people they polled and stuff. What's the age range exactly, but still. Bringing off time to work. Again, but I mean, it's women who value emotional stability because they're a little bit, you know, just a smidge, a little bit, you know, less emotionally stable, which is fine. It's Gen Z. I'm aware, but the broad definition is... Some people take age ranges that are different from what people expect. Some people classify fucking 18 to 32 as Gen Z. Okay, I'm just trying to see, like, what is the broad range? It still counts. I think that 32 is on the higher end. I think the difference between a 30-year-old and a 32-year-old is quite different. People's mental genuinely shifts after they hit 30. Yeah. I refuse to be Gen Z. There's nothing wrong with being Gen Z or millennial. You just have to be self-aware enough to realize that there's problems in your generation. Asmund talks about it all the time. He's like, as a millennial, I fucking hate millennials. And I'm like, wow. He just says it how it is. Yeah. I want to be Gen Sigma. I don't know. It's a bummer. It scares me. What's gonna happen when Gen Z and millennials are like the dinosaurs running Congress and running the government all over the world? That's gonna be terrifying. I don't know, you guys. I'm a little bit scared. This psyop is fucking crazy. It's so over. I shudder to imagine such a future. I don't know, are we gonna be worse than boomers? Gen Z and millennials holding hands, just better than boomers? I don't know. Millennials are pretty fucking bad. There's a lot wrong with my generation, Gen Z. Every generation has their problems. Not gonna lie, I think we will be worse than boomers. Maybe. Someone's gonna be emotionally unstable enough and just go crazy. We're all fricked. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look-see here. There are males who want to have children before they're financially independent, really? I could see this. Maybe this is like a weird take, but some people think they can like juggle out and think to themselves, like, if I hit big, like, if I get this promotion, I can have a baby, and then that's when I'll hit my stride, and then I can provide for them, and it's like a juggling act. Does that make sense? I could see that someone justifying and saying, like, oh, well, I can't provide for them right this second, but, like, in maybe, like, a year I can. They're never gonna be financially independent, that's the point. Yeah, I guess. I didn't even think about it that way. Man, you guys are miserable. They're never gonna be financially independent. No. Yo, Doomer, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. So get into a baby situation when they have to get their shit sorted out. Yeah, but in order to have your shit sorted, usually the security of owning a house is usually the biggest stability factor, in my opinion. Like, my parents... We moved a lot, so we didn't actually own a house until a certain point. Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say. Even getting a mortgage right now is kind of crazy. Young women, corporations are evil, so therefore we will dictate our lives to them and serve them more ardently than any man, woman, or child. I've also talked to a lot of women that complain about how much it costs to like put kids into daycare. So like I worked at a job, like a normal job, and there would be women with kids and they'd always bitch about how much daycare costs. And they would also say, like, I'd give anything to, like, basically be able to afford, you know, not to take my kids to daycare and just stay at home. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you could just stay at home and have your man probably provide, because the money you're making is probably just the bare minimum for daycare, unless there's other things going on, which I can't say for sure. Yeah, spend half your wages on daycare but not stay at home. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I don't know. It's a very difficult predicament. You can't say that to women. Well, I'm a girl, so I can say that. The men don't make enough either? I guess. I don't know. It's just so hard. Daycare's a robbery? Yeah, I don't think my mom ever put me into daycare. The most she did was like kindergarten, but that's school. That's different. Emotional stability, 9%. Yikes! I think it's a very poetic and beautiful and tragic thing. I'm not gonna lie. Emotional stability, 9%. I will do anything for my family. I will do anything. I will become mentally ill. Yeah. Nobody wants to do what the French did, hot take, but they got some workers' rights over there. As someone who lived in Europe for quite some time, it also really sucks when half the time you're going to a business and it's just fucking closed, and it feels like nobody works. Like, Spain and France have, like, a massive labor issue, too. Like, I don't know, it goes both ways. I'm not saying you're wrong, but, like, there has to be, like, a balance. When you go to a bank and it's just fucking closed all the time, it's like, oh my god, man, does somebody work in this damn country? Several hour lunch breaks? Yeah, like siestas and, like, napping. Like, I get it. I get it. I'm pouring on the streets with no family, but at least I'm emotionally stable. That means I'm successful. Yeah, it's a trade-off. Again, I'm not endorsing and saying, like, everybody has to, like, sacrifice their mental health in order to, you know, reach a point where they're comfortable enough to have kids or whatever, but this is alarming for sure. But at the same time, I think that having it a #1 priority is like, geez, like, what do you want? 10 hours, 4-day weeks, not a bad work-life balance? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. Anyway, this is a good one. This is a good post too. It's quite interesting.